A new guaranteed monthly payment program has been introduced on a national level, which would give people enough money to pay for a two-bedroom home in their respective area. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's actually not, because they are talking about it and it has been formally introduced for the national level as well. I also have this article right here, which I will be popping up on the screen in just a second, so you can see and read for yourself exactly what they're talking about right here, the details of this, as well as I will share with you the name of the legislation as well, so you can look it up if you want to and read more about this. But we've been hearing about so many of these guaranteed basic income programs across the entire country over the last several years. We've seen a lot of these pilot programs popping up, and this is yet again another one of them. Pilot program, again, right there in the name of the legislation. I will share with you in just a second the name of it if you want to look into it further. But this is actually kind of a cool one, because we all recognize that prices on everything have gone up substantially over the last few years, right? Obviously, rents, and not only that, but home ownership or just shelter in general is very, very expensive over the last few years. The average rent right now is about $1,400 a month across the entire country. That's just average. Obviously, there's some places that are significantly more, some places that are significantly less, but on average, it's $1,400 is the average rent across the country. So I'm going to pop this up in just a second. We can talk about the details of this, but I also want to point this out super fast, which is this would not be a universal basic income program, but rather a guaranteed basic income program, which would essentially look through the different rents across the country. So somebody living in, say, San Diego, California, may have a significantly higher rent than maybe somebody living in a more rural area, maybe in the Midwest or something. And again, it's all going to be reflective of that person's exact location, the average rent for a two-bedroom home in that location, and then the person they'd be qualified to receive money from this program would basically just get that equivalent to basically live in that home for 3 years would be the pilot program, according to what they're saying. Anyway, let's pop this up right here, right now. You can feel free to read through this. I'll talk you through the details. Now, the name of this legislation is called Guaranteed Income Pilot Program Act of 2025. Let me say that again. Guaranteed Income Pilot Program Act of 2025. So here's what it is. Literally what I just said is that they want to establish essentially a guaranteed basic income program on the national level where they would be helping out thousands and thousands of people every single year basically pay for their rent is essentially what this is. Now, technically, the money would be given in such a way that you could use the money however you want. That's how guaranteed basic income programs are set up, is that you get the money and there's no strings attached. They don't come forward and say, well, here's $2,000 and you must spend it on rent. No, guaranteed basic income programs basically say, if somebody is eligible to receive money from the program, you just literally get the stipend and you can spend it on whatever you want. You can save it, you can spend it, whatever. That's kind of the purpose of the guaranteed basic income programs, is that there are no strings attached and that they're not sitting there micromanaging your every move saying, well, you got to do this with it and you can do that with it. No, the whole purpose of the guaranteed basic income programs is literally to just give the money to the people that are qualified based on their income and their eligibility, and they can just use the money for whatever. But basically what they're saying is that in this article, they're suggesting, well, this legislation, I should say, within this, they're basically suggesting whatever the equivalent of that average two-bedroom home in that respective area would be, that's how much the person would receive. Now, it's a 3-year program. I like it, but at the same time, what happens after 3 years? If somebody's eligible to receive this and then 3 years goes by, what happens? They just drop it and then they just, they lose that money going forward? What if that person really has been using that money during that 3-year period of time to pay for a two-bedroom home in their local area? Obviously, their rent or whatever would be covered at that point, right? Because that's the whole purpose of this. But what happens when they get dropped from the program, or the program just expires after 3 years? Does that person just get dropped and like, sorry, it was fun while it lasted, now you're on your own now, right? Not a good situation. So I'm just saying, just wanted to think about all the details of this, right? Now, this is not the first time that we've heard of a nationwide guaranteed basic income program. In fact, a few years ago, we got the introduction of the Support Act. That one would literally send out $1,200 checks to everybody who would be qualified for it for a 5-year period of time. Obviously, that would never happen, but that would be amazing, right? How incredible would that have been? $1,200 on an ongoing basis for virtually everybody, plus another $600 per dependent, is the Support Act. And again, that one was introduced a few years ago. Nothing ever came with it, as in they never passed it. But my point being with all this is that since 2019 until recent, I mean, to be fair, like the last year and a half or so, the guaranteed basic income programs have been a bit slower. But from basically 2019 through about 2023 or so, that about, say, 4-year period of time, there were a lot of guaranteed basic income programs that popped up, especially in 2020, 2021, 2022. During that time, there were a ton of them that came up. And the reason for that is states, remember, they were given $350 billion of all the different stimulus packages that were sent out. States got $350 billion back in 2021. States had to spend that money. They didn't know what to do with it. States were flush with cash. Each state got like tens of billions of dollars. They had no idea what to do with it. So what did they start doing? They started establishing a bunch of these guaranteed basic income programs, and we saw a ton of these popping up. In fact, there's a coalition across the country. It's called Mayors for a Guaranteed Income. Look it up. It's actually pretty interesting. They have a dedicated website. I've talked about it before over the years, but they have a dedicated website, Mayors for a Guaranteed Income. That's the name of it. I'm not sure exactly what the website is. Just if you type it in on like Google or something, you could find it. But basically, it's mayors all across the country. There's like, I don't know how many mayors are on there. There's a lot of mayors that have signed on to this thing. But basically, they've come forward and shown their support for establishing a guaranteed income in their local city, jurisdiction, whatever happens to be, right? So anyway, there's a lot of them, and they've also established numerous of these guaranteed basic income programs across the entire country. And they found a lot of the times, obviously, they are getting some mixed results, but most of the time with these guaranteed basic income programs, again, a no strings attached, just monthly stipend for a specified amount of time for a very specific group of people, they find that they're actually very helpful and they're actually very effective. Really? Wow. Never would have thought. Never would have thought that, right? Sending out ongoing monthly payments is actually pretty effective to help the livelihoods and the finances of the people receiving them. Duh, right? Wow, never thought that that'd be a thing. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic right now, right? It's obviously very, very effective, provided the money is used for constructive purposes. You know, maybe some of it's not. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and speculate that it's not. We have to assume that it is. But in general, they have found very fruitful results from these programs that have been established. So this is yet again another one of them. Again, Guaranteed Income Pilot Program Act of 2025 is what they're calling it here. It's kind of a funny name, but that's just what they're calling it. So we will see what happens. Just like so many of the guaranteed income programs that are out there, we will see. But I'm going to say this much as well. You know as well as I do, we are seeing the implementation of robotics, automation, AI, sophisticated computers, whatever you want to call it. We're seeing this in a wide-scale implementation across the country and realistically globally right now. It's not going to be much longer. I mean, we've seen big players out there like Elon Musk and Sam Altman. I mean, people that have implemented major technology like ChatGPT, and obviously Elon does all kinds of different things. Whether you like these guys or not, that's not the point of this video. It doesn't really matter. Whether you love them or hate them or anywhere in between, it does not matter. That's not what I'm talking about. But what I am saying is these guys, as well as many other people, have endorsed this idea of implementing a guaranteed income across the country because guess what? Are we all going to be working at the capacity that we currently are now or have been? Not a chance. Whether you're working or not, it does not matter. This economy and the industries out there are being impacted so massively because of the implementation of technology, robotics, automation, just sophisticated computers literally taking over jobs for thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions of people. It's going to get nuts. And the thing is, there's going to be a lot of people that are out of work. And there's been a lot of discussion about implementing a guaranteed basic income program on the national level to establish some kind of basic income for people that basically lose their positions, lose their jobs. and basically have been replaced by automation, robots, AI, technology, whatever you want to call it. It's a real thing, and it's coming fast. It's coming very, very fast. So anyway, this is just another one of those implementations or another idea, proposal to start this up across the country. Realistically, it's only a matter of time until they do this on a big, wide scale. Most of the guaranteed basic income programs that have been introduced so far have just been on small local areas, like a certain city, a certain county, a certain local area, a certain region, something like that. Some states have implemented it on the state level, but that's not very common. California, I believe New Mexico did it on the state level, or has to some capacity. But other than that, not a whole lot. But there's way more talk about implementing these on the massive national level, which would be administered by the federal government rather than a small state or local or county or city government, if that makes sense, right? Anyway, just want to bring this to your attention. Found this to be very interesting. I will continue to keep an eye on any of these programs that are out there, as always, and continue to bring them to your attention as they continue to be introduced and pop up like this, as well as anything else going on right now. I will continue to bring it to your attention every single day. Again, thanks for watching this. I appreciate it. Again, as always, if you're on Medicare, if you've not done so yet, time is running out for Medicare annual enrollment. Jump on the phone. Right there, call Chapter. Phone number's there. You've heard me talk about it about 1,000 times over the last few weeks here. It's so incredibly important. These Medicare plans are changing unlike anything we've ever seen before when it comes down to annual enrollment, the new year coming in, the Medicare changes, all these plans. I mean, a lot of plans are going away. So many people are going to be disrupted by this. I'm just trying to help you out with this any way that I possibly can. By the way, the average person calling Chapter right there to get some help with their Medicare plan for the upcoming year is saving $1,100 on average. That's the average savings. A lot of people, even like what I have highlighted here in this document, people are saving hundreds of dollars per month, thousands and thousands of dollars per year, basically after just making a fast and free phone call. So anyway, by the way, after you talk to them, if you drop a comment down below and tell me how much you've saved on a monthly or annualized basis, I'll add your name to this list here. And we're just continuously updating that weekly to give people an idea of like how much money is being saved across this community alone by literally making a fast and free phone call to Chapter if you're on Medicare to make sure that you have the proper coverages for the upcoming year and how much better your life would look knowing you have the proper plan, the best coverages for you and your personal needs, whatever it happens to be. Make sure to call them. If you're on Medicare, you're going to be taking a ton of risk if you do not get a review of your plan, and Chapter, will do that completely for free for you. Anyway, just call them. If you're on Medicare, take 10 minutes, call them, 15 minutes, whatever it happens to be. I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody. A little bit of time just to get that reassurance and to just basically mitigate your risk for the upcoming year to make sure that you are properly covered. Anyway, please subscribe if you're new here, 100% free. Share the video, big share button down below, subscribe button down below as well. Otherwise, check out the other 6,000 plus videos here on the channel in the video library. The popular videos I've hand selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy your day, take care. I hope this helps you, and I'll catch you.